They've won it on a 3-run home run, and they have taken Game 2 of this series 9-6.
Michael Waltrip, good luck, Bryson, with the grid walk.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. It's going to be so much fun. I loved your father as this whole pit road did, Bryson, and honored that you're down here with me today.
Absolutely, Michael. I really appreciate that. You've been my main man for forever, and that really means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
You want to go grid walking?
Absolutely. Let's go over to Chase Elliott over here.
Oh, man, he just takes over.
Now, we are here with Chase the Champ, Elliott. Now, you won the championship series last year, and you also won the All-Star race last year. You know the formula to success overall. So what do you need to do tonight to win?
Yeah, well, the big thing is I think going to be just continue to move forward every stage with the way they're doing this, and the re-racks and the random draws, and then obviously your average finish plays a role in that too. So I think if you're moving forward every round, you're going to be in a good position. So that's kind of where our head's at. Obviously, that's always the goal. So we'll try to go as fast as we can in our Napa Chevrolet, and hopefully be around there at the end for when it counts.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, let's head on over next to Austin Dillon.
Hey, Austin. Michael Waltrip on the grid walk, but I've got a partner today.
Good to see you, Austin. Now, you know what they say. Everything is always bigger here in Texas. How big would a win tonight be for you?
$1.1 million if you do everything correct tonight. That's a big paycheck. I'm really pumped about the night. It's hot out, and I think I got the perfect car to combat that with the Andy's Frozen Custard car. Hopefully it's cold in there tonight, and we go right to the front.
Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to NASCAR Race Hub. I'm Bryson Byrnes. We've got a lot to go over in the next hour, so here's our starting lineup. We'll put a period on the Indy Road Course and how that win sets up Tyler Reddick for the postseason. Plus, AJ Allmendinger and Regan Smith hang out in the pub. We're back to the ovals this Sunday in Michigan. And what about this past weekend's truck race at IRP? Winner Grant Enfinger stops by. But before we push ahead, let's look back one more time at Tyler Reddick's big Indy win.
Vergantino, that is game, that is series, a walk-off RBI for Will Vergantino. Elon wins. The Phoenix are victorious over UMass 10-9 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Will Vergantino, you are the hero.
See, here's just some statistics. FDU was on average the shortest team in Division I. Purdue, led by Zach Edey, who is a consensus All-American and the Big Ten Player of the Year, 7'4", and their entire team on average is the tallest team in Division I. We hear the phrase David versus Goliath a lot in upsets, but this was literally a David versus Goliath type game. And it's even worse for Purdue if you consider that FDU really shouldn't have even been there in the first place because they did not win the NEC Conference Championship. They lost in the conference championship against Merrimack, but because Merrimack was still in the transition process moving from D2 to D1, FDU got the automatic bid and they made the most of it. And on top of that, they were the worst team in the tournament. They were ranked 68 out of 68, and they're also the first ever team to play in the first four as a 16 seed and beat a 1 seed as well. Just a complete just travesty if you're a Boilermakers fan.
Blocked by KJ at the net. UNCW keeps control. Nicely dug out by Parker, goes back into UNCW territory. Nicely dug out. Staying alive, LaRue puts it over. Elon really on the back foot here, but they're still keeping it alive. LaRue sends it back over. UNCW, another opportunity to shut the door. They can't. Ball at the net. That is your match, ladies and gentlemen. UNCW with a phenomenal comeback.
Big Trey's area of White was a very close second.
No, yeah, he's third in the CAA in points per game at 20.3. There's also 12th in the CAA in rebounds at 6.2. He has scored in double digits every game this season and also has 2 double-doubles. Also was a second-team All-CAA player last season. He is the man on this team. You have to stop him tonight if you're Elon if you want to get a win because he is a very, very good ball player. Rob Higgins has come alive at the right time just as CAA play has started. He's averaging just under 17 points in the last 5 games and also leads the team in a 7th in the CAA in assists and 13th in the CAA in steals. He does a very good job of moving the ball around and leading this offense.
We look at our Cox Toyota keys to the game. What does Elon have to do to come away with a win here today?
So first today, they got to win on third down. They've really struggled so far this season on third down.
They're second to last in the CAA in terms of third down conversion at only 29.1%, while they are 10th in the conference in terms of third down defense. Elon not only needs to play well on these pivotal third downs, but they also need to do a good job on first and second down so that those third and longs turn into more third and manageables. Then they have to stop the Hampton run. Hampton averages over 230 rushing yards per game, the most out of any team in the CAA, one of the best in the FCS as well. They have two running backs who have combined for over 1,400 yards. Obviously, one of them is out today, but still. They also have quarterback Chris Zealous, who runs the read option very well and is a great dual-threat quarterback with 569 rushing yards of his own. The Pirates, as we said, return all 5 of their starters on the O-line. If the Elon front 7 can play strong and physical football and force Zealous to make some uncomfortable decisions with that option, they'll be in a good place.
Keen on the play. They do mark him down at the 25 of the Phoenix.
They call Jalen Hampton Bam, and they call him that for a reason because he does a great job of breaking tackles, getting those extra yards off of contact. There's a reason why he's one of the best running backs in the CAA.
Rushing the passer as well. Just 9 sacks for the Pirates this season.
Yeah, and that's dead last right now in the CAA. They kind of run that 3-3 formation where they can have an extra backer come down and blitz. They do like to utilize a lot of blitzing linebackers, but it's just not working right now for this Hampton team. This Elon O-line is just doing a really good job protecting for Matthew Downing right now. I mean, Downing just has all day to throw, and while, yes, the Hampton defensive backfield is getting burnt, there's only so much you can do when Downing has that much time in the pocket.
His 4.5 sack on the season for the outstanding redshirt sophomore.
I mean, that's just an amazing stat, especially as a safety, having 4.5 sacks on the year. I mean, I knew this guy was going to be special when he had that pick 6 against Wake Forest to open up the season, but him and Bo Sanders at those safety positions, arguably the best safety duo in the CAA this season.
Down and manageable, but out-trots the punting unit.
And this is a scenario, Max, where they can win the field position battle if they go ahead and pin him deep here. We could also see a fake punt pass like we saw in the North Carolina A&T game. That would kind of be a fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me situation for Elon's opponents. And so I'm sure William and Mary already knows this could be a fake punt. But I think they're just going to go ahead and just try to down it deep in Tribe territory.
And just like that, Bryson, they're inside the red zone for the first time today.
And I love how they drew up that play. They had it tied into the run side. They had 2 offensive linemen pulling to that side as well. And so you just had a wall of big boys right there, creating a really good seam for Emo. And Emo has had back-to-back 100-yard rushing games as well, Max. And so he has experience too.
Line of scrimmage, and already you get big number 6, Marvin Pearson, into the game. That's one guy the Aggies don't want to get hot.
Yeah, arguably one of the best Elon players when it comes to NFL recruitment. But I like what A&T is doing here really early on, having those 2 backs in the backfield. They didn't do that a whole lot against NC Central, but both Christian and Graves are such good running backs that you might as well run that option with them and really catch the defense off guard.
What happened?
Yeah, very good defense right there by Jaden Dennis. Forced 2 fumbles last week against Gardner Webb. That was just basically a one-on-one ball right there. I thought he caught it at first too, but Dennis did a good job of staying with it. The junior out of Mallard Creek High School making some plays early for the Phoenix.
Bryson, but you get a quick basket here, and it's right back to a 1-score game.
Absolutely, especially since you still have 1 timeout to work with. So for Elon, you're going to sprint down the court, try to find an open basket very early. It could be a 2-pointer. You don't necessarily need a 3 here. And then as soon as you make it, you're going to go ahead and call a timeout and try to draw up something really good on defense. And if UNCG is successful on the ensuing inbound, then you have to foul right away to go ahead, force them to the line to try to get another possession. UNCG really starting to heat up from the floor. As I said, if you're Elon, you really got to buckle down on defense and go back to those possessions where you were forcing those shot clock violations. 10 seconds now on the game clock. Nunez now with it. Hands it off to Thule. Thule nearly lost control of it, but regains control. Picks up her dribble. Gives it to Nunez on the right wing. Nunez driving. Floater is good. Horn sounds, and that'll make it a 38-30 lead for Campbell at the end of the third quarter. Don't go anywhere, folks, because we still have some fourth quarter action from Schar Center here on WSOE 89.3 Elon Burlington. Ferrito now with it, giving it underneath to Ackles.
Ferrito swings it out. 3-point shot, no good from Henderson. Offensive rebound, though, goes to Ferrito. Ferrito now drives to her right, and she gets the lay-in to not fall. Rebounded by Willard. Elon wanting to go fast. It looks like Regina Walton bringing it up. She swings it into the corner to Diamond Monroe. She's wide open, and she hits the three.
Left to go.
Elon, 10 3-pointers on the afternoon, only 3 for UNCW. Evan Miller almost had it poked away by Vanessa Taylor. Keeps possession, picks up her dribble, gives it to Taylor Henderson. Taylor Henderson now up top, being guarded by Regina Walton. Henderson gets it to go. Still a one-possession game. UNCW leads 50-47.
For the past 7 years, Fox Sports has been presenting the Byrnes Award to someone in the NASCAR industry that shared some of the same qualities and character traits as my dad, Steve Byrnes. We are excited to announce that this year's winner is Trackhouse team owner Justin Marks. This is Justin's only second year as a NASCAR Cup owner and his first year as a 2-car operation. Justin has revolutionized team ownership, and this year he has already led his teams to 2 victories and 9 top 5 finishes. In addition, he and his drivers Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez have been super accessible and supportive in helping Fox Sports provide the very best race coverage every week for our fans watching at home. Like my dad, Justin and his team work hard to produce the best and to grow the sport. Justin, congratulations on receiving the Byrnes Award, and thanks so much for representing my dad in this way. Good luck with the rest of the season.
That was a big man play right there by Sam Sherry. Williams had a chance for a monster dunk right there, but Sherry was able to get a hand in there cleanly as well and got the big defensive play.
So very, very great offensive performance so far today by Stony Brook. They've been dominating the time of possession. I can't believe that one, Chase. Are you kidding me? Between the legs shot right there. Stony Brook has just been absolutely amazing.
Welcome back into Shar Center, ladies and gentlemen, where Elon leads Delaware 28-15 in large part because Asia James. It has been the Asia James show early on, ladies and gentlemen. Already has 11 points on the day, more than double what she's averaging this year. And she's a transfer student from St. Peter's, where she was 4th in the MAAC in rebounds and was also on the MAAC all-tournament and all-rookie team. So Asia James taking some of her talent over here to Elon recently, and that's been seen a lot tonight. If I were the Jaguars, I would pick Hutchinson. He had the most sacks out of any defensive end in this draft. He won the Ted Hendricks Award, which goes to the best defensive end in college football, and he was a Heisman Award finalist. He's just one of the most athletic players in the entire draft, and I think it's a no-brainer that you should pick him, especially since he got these numbers going up against Big Ten teams that are known for having really good offensive linemen. So I think you pick Hutchinson, but I think Walker is going to be the one that ends up going first.
That's something that Ice Adams does so well, both on offense and defense, is just being physical underneath and being strong. And that's a great example of fighting through the contact on both her right and her left.
If you're Blaisdell, this may not be the guy you want to face, as they now have a chance to turn 2, but they can't. That's going to be an error against the second baseman, and run number 3 is going to come in for the Phoenix. And just like that, Elon has a 3-0 lead with a chance to get a 4-0 lead, and they do. Play at second, and he is safe at second.
LaRue digs that one out. Gower sprinting after that one. Love is able to keep it in play. How about that by Sydney Love? But the kill ultimately goes to Napoli for North Carolina A&T, as Elon was way out of position.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Rudd Field, where Elon leads UNCW 1-0. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the CAA standings before we get started with the second half. Chase currently Towson at the top with 10 points. Elon towards the bottom, as they're currently 0-2 in conference play. And then looking at UNCW, they have 6 points at 2-1. Now, this should be taken somewhat with a grain of salt because it's based off of how many points they have, and each team has not played an equal amount of CAA games. However, Elon certainly would like to get some sort of result tonight so that they can jump up a few spots in those standings.
To Love once again, dug out by Bulatovic. Awkward angle for the Lady Pirates, but a phenomenal kill right there by Westcott. It was a really tough angle, but she made it work, Chase.
Yeah, looking at Von Essen, you know, that's the player to watch for Hofstra, so it's a great move to go ahead and put Vanessa Taylor on her for head coach Charlotte Smith, because you know you've got to put your best defensive player against a player like Von Essen, who, even though she struggled tonight, she can come alive at any moment.
Blocked by the Phoenix.
Still kept alive. Rejected again by Elon. Sawtelle just taps it over. Third time's the charm for Sawtelle, and that is set one in favor of the Aggies right now. 3-on-3 in the alley. Cross right there, and that's a goal for the Phoenix! That's going to be an own goal against the Seahawks. It went off of a defensive player, off of the cross, and that is just heartbreaking for UNCW, Chase.
But then it all came crashing down 2 weekends ago against Oregon. They went into Eugene. They were expecting a big victory. All their players were talking trash before the game to the Oregon players. They scuffed the midfield logo in the stadium as well. And what happens? They end up losing 42-6. It was 35-0 at halftime. Colorado was held to under 200 yards. Oregon had 7 sacks on the day. That offensive line for Colorado looked like Swiss cheese. And it was just not a good scene for Colorado. To be fair, they didn't have Travis Hunter, the great two-way player, and so that definitely hurt them. But it was just such a big deficit that I don't think it would have made it up at all in that game.
Burrows near the top of that box. Nicely saved by Hamner, but put it to the back of the net by UNCW off the deflection. I can't believe it, Chase.
Line for 2.
I mean, she made the initial great spin move right there, then split the defenders, had the contact, and nearly got the and one along with the behind-the-back dribble. I mean, she just does such a phenomenal job of handling that basketball, but also being aggressive when going to the basket, which you wouldn't expect from a freshman player like her, but she just has a lot of confidence already. You have a one-on-one with the goalie, but Delfonso did a fantastic job sticking that left foot out, being able to get a piece of the ball, and that's what the coaches ask you to do if you're a goalie. Just get a piece of that ball in those one-on-one scenarios, and Delfonso just kept her team in this game.
Game changer.
And I mean, in terms of efficiency, Northeastern is much more efficient on offense. They're shooting 46% from the floor, whereas Elon's only shooting 32%. It's just Elon has taken 13 more shots from the floor than Northeastern has this afternoon. And so while, yes, if you're the Huskies, you want some quality shots, you got to be shooting the ball more overall, as a three-pointer right there ties this one up. And I really have to give credit to both teams here, Taylor. Elon nearly got themselves out of a very, very deep hole. They never gave up in UNCW. Even with that Elon comeback, they kept their heads, they played ball, and were ultimately able to come away with the win, with, as you said, puts them in a pretty decent position in the CAA standings right now. Well, they call her Baby Shaq, but the one difference between her and the actual Shaq is that she has made at least a couple of three-pointers, including that one from way downtown. She hits it straight into the gap. Is that one gone? Yes, it is! A 3-run home run for the Phoenix. Allie Shearing puts Elon on top, 6-4. What an absolute blast by Allie Shearing. Wells hits an absolute missile into right field, and she's going to go ahead and go to second, and a runner's going to come home for the Phoenix, and that throw not in time. Make it 7-4 in favor of Elon. If Elon wins this point, we're playing to 26. If not, A&T takes the second match of this weekend doubleheader. Parker to Love. Partially rejected at the net. A&T keeps it alive. Rejected at the net by Lanier. We're heading to 26. That was some great defense right there by the Phoenix, making UNCW pass it every which way, and it got to the point where by the time they give it to White, it was such a bad pass that he couldn't get the shot off in time.
Phoenix.
One of Ice Adams' biggest strengths is both working off of the baseline, but also some of those mid-range shots as well. And so it's really good to see head coach Charlotte Smith trying to give her those opportunities early on in this one.
Last game, Shaw. That one hit deep, and that one is gone! Gabby Shaw with a solo shot to make this one 2-1. The first hit of this game for the Phoenix is a home run. Take a bow, Gabby Shaw.
Free throw game is one of the big strengths of UNCW so far. Leads the CAA in free throw percentage at 77.1. They went 13 of 13 from the charity stripe last game against Delaware. That's the difference between a 5-point win and a 1-point win against the Blue Hens. When you think of Vanessa Taylor, you usually think of more of a defensive player, but we've seen a little bit of that from Vanessa Taylor, where she's opening up a little bit in terms of shooting the basketball on offense. And so if you can get her working into that offense, that is going to be such a huge asset for Elon.
23-8 lead. That one is absolutely crushed into the night sky in Elon, North Carolina, and that one is gone. A grand slam for Will Vergantino. That
gets a piece of that one, popped up in foul territory, and oh my goodness, what a catch! Oh my, Claudia Penny at first base. I mean, she's a tall 6'3" player, so just go ahead, give it to her, and let her go to work. She's become such a great player in the paint, and really the turning point that we saw was in that Mount Olive game right before Christmas, where she had 8.7 rebounds, and she's just kind of just bloomed into a butterfly after that game and has done a good job of coming off the bench for this Elon squad. Makes the free throw as well to get the and one.
Montgomery hits that one over. Reagan Hartley makes the diving catch. Campbell leaves runners at second and third to close out the top of the fourth inning. Reagan Hartley and Megan Grant with some great fielding.
I would agree with that, and I think it's also just playing a full 40 minutes. There's been a lot of games so far where they've played a good 30 minutes or a good 25 minutes or even a good 35 minutes, but there's just been those periods where they kind of go off the rails a little bit, and then they just get into too big of a hole to dig themselves out of. Elon now pushing the ball upfield. Cross pass, great opportunity, and that one is saved by Wise. Oh my goodness. Degnan had a great opportunity right there, caught Wise going the other way. Wise was able to readjust and get her hands on it. Had it right near that penalty kick spot. Just got that right hand across after initially hitting her left hand to push it back out.
Really good look to Duran. Tapia Sanchez, another save. Flowers now with it in the box. Flowers, another great move. Tapia Sanchez, another great save.
Ball saving potentially a run.
Sprock rounds that one out. Second baseman kind of tripped. That's going to be an error. 2 runs are going to come in for the Phoenix. Sprock stays at first. It's a 7-6 game.
And the Phoenix are shooting lights out right now, shooting 55% from the field. But the even more impressive number, Taylor, is that they're shooting 71% from beyond the arc, 5 of 7 right now. They're simply making almost everything that they shoot, it feels like.
Branitel is able to hit that one through the gap. It's going to be another play at home plate. Is he had the throw? No, he does not. Elon wins. Elon wins. Adam Berry is able to come home, and Elon wins this one in the bottom of the 10th off of a Charlie Branitel walk-off.